Hey, what's going on, everybody? And now, a lot of you have been clamoring about a tour. Well, today you're going to get a tour, and you're going to experience firsthand the schizophrenic weather. That is Florida at the tail end of the rainy season. Now, there were blue skies just a second ago, but right now it's about to dump on us. It's been dumping for so long that my entire yard is saturated. So I figured, you know what? Why not do a show where I show you some of the less than ideal conditions we have to deal with down here in South Florida. So here comes a very wet tour. See you in a minute.
A good portion of my life has been all about action, which still holds true. But now I pour all that time and energy into wildlife conservation, education, and the pursuit of knowledge. This is Kamp Kenan.
All right, so even if it rains, things have to get done at the camp. Now, we're standing in what used to be the Asian box turtle and green iguana habitat. It was an old dog kennel the previous owner had, but as you can see, the previous owner worked with metals and steel, and he was a welder fabricator, but this stuff's been just rotting and rotting for just so long, and I finally decided, you know what? It's ugly, it's gotta go. Unfortunately, the green iguana went to go live with a nice family upstate on a farm, and well, I no longer need this enclosure, and I want to tear it down. But what I'm going to do is keep a wall up here, use this pond for the elongated and cherry heads, and I think this will be a really cool addition to their habitat. Eventually, I'm going to build another iguana cage, but I'm going to do it somewhere else. Check this out, though. Just to give you an idea, remember, this is the wet tour, okay? Mind your step here, guys. So here is what happens after heavy rains. This is their enclosure. Now, luckily, I got a lot of eggs out of the ground, but this always floods here, and that's why, if you remember a few episodes back, we built up that area around the tree. A lot of you guys were worried about the tree. The tree is not going to die just from a little soil being piled up on it. Trust me, the pine trees have no issue with that. So they're going to be fine, but I was able to keep the eggs up out of the water. Hopefully I didn't miss any eggs. Cool thing about the elongated and cherry heads is they like to soak, and this is pretty deep, but they're able to walk through it, keep their heads over, so I don't worry about them flooding to a point where it's unhealthy or they could possibly drown. Now, just over here are the black mountain tortoise and my elongateds. Remember, these cherry heads and elongateds I'm holding for a good friend of mine, so they'll be spending a few years with me. But come on over here. Oh. So the black mountain tortoises absolutely love this weather. They like it wet. They don't care if it's cool and wet, if it's hot and wet. As long as they're moist, they're happy. And they're always looking for food and handouts. And if I'm not careful, they're gonna bite on my pants. So I like to keep moving. But this area, you know, doesn't get a lot of saturation, not a lot of standing water like the low area back in where the other cherry heads and elongateds are. So these guys, they're all right. They like the canopy. They like to move around. Everyone's out. You see, that's the interesting thing about a rain or just after rain. All the tortoises come out because the temperature's cooled off. They can move about. They're looking for a lot of maybe leaves that have blown down in the storm, fruits that might have fallen down. So they come out. It's a more comfortable time for these guys to be moving about. But I just want to give you guys a sense of what it's like after a rainstorm, and here comes some more of it right now. See, this is nuts, and I know Tom doesn't have any kind of cover for that camera.
That's so all right. Let's go for it.
We're going for it. All right.
This is it.
Here's Colin hanging out back in his enclosure. Jackie went back to her dad's house, Anthony's house. We're going to keep moving. Check this out. Now, after the hurricanes, I did a lot of cleanup, so I'm really excited, but all I can hope for now is that it just dries out. Let's walk over here. We're going to go see Darwin and Nostradamus. But look at this. And it's going to get worse, guys. This is what it's all about, man. You wanted to risk it. Let's go see these guys. They're in the mud wallow. They're not even using the water hole that I built for them. They prefer to get nice and muddy. And, well, so do I, actually, sometimes. We've been fixing the bamboo fence out front with some of the bamboo that fell down during the storm. But look at this. All three of them hanging out. No big deal, huh? Isn't that a great shot, guys? I mean, come on, man. I always feel like these guys look like sauropods or brontosaurs or, oh, I don't know, brachiosaurs. this is pretty awesome to see these guys out here like that. We're gonna keep it rolling along though. Come on.
If our camera doesn't die.
Yeah, we might be out of camera, and if that's the case, this is gonna be the one and only episode from this tour.
Yeah, where I kill my $4,000 camera.
Yeah, don't do that, Tom. Let's go. Let's go see what's happening with the radiated tortoise. All right, and as I told you before, tortoises, doesn't matter if they're tropical species or desert species, when it rains, it wakes everybody up. They come on out, they're foraging around. The temperature is about 86 degrees, so I'm really actually sweating underneath this poncho. And I gotta be honest, I kinda like getting wet in my poncho. I bought this thing on Amazon. So pumped, dude. Coming in handy. Anyway, let's continue our little trek, shall we? So here they all are. And you got to think about it this way, guys. Since the hurricanes basically come through, and they're really just giant weed whackers. They're here to just get rid of the dead debris, the trees, the vegetation. And what happens now is all this rain is actually getting all those. In 6 months, trees are all going to be back. Basically what I'm trying to say. Come on, let's go. Check out the pond. This is actually the one good thing about having rainy days like this. My pond is full, and it'll stay full for months afterwards, because we're going to be heading into the dry season. This pond will go down drastically. Now, if you notice some of the older videos, you'll see that I actually have an island there, but you can see it's basically underwater. So much for the island right now. But we got a Grandis walking by right now. And if you kind of go out, you'll see a lot of the Grandis come up and out. Check this out. Look at that. These guys love to walk around on land after a rainstorm or during the rain, because this way they're able to kind of forage for some of the plant matter that's out there. Let's go have a look and see what they're doing. Check. Yeah, see them? This is actually a good time to come out and observe your animals and see how they behave. Look at that. Big Grandis. Here's another big Grandis. You see this? They're all over the place. The other thing you'll notice is we're going to go to this forms a natural stream when it rains. The water flows over the pond, comes into the midline, and it actually trickles down the property lines. But some of the aquatic turtles like to come out. You got to remember, aquatic turtles will move from pond to pond during rainy days like this to find new habitat for new food options. But we might find a few turtles in there. Yeah, there's some right there. What kind? That's Grandis. Gosh, there's so many Grandis walking about.
It's hard for us to see them a bit with all the going on.
I'm sorry, guys. We're just trying to give you a good sense as to what's going on. So it's a good idea for me to just come out here and see who's wandering about. You never know. You might see a turtle that you haven't seen in a long time. I
have to apologize to the audience for my poor shooting. I just can't see everything that I'm doing with the bag over the camera.
Yeah, don't worry.
You know, be forgiving, guys. That's all.
They don't care, man. These folks like the reality of what we're doing here. It is basically guerrilla style filmmaking right now.
This is cool. We've never been back here.
We never come back here. This is like a mysterious portion of Kamp Kenan. I let the weeds grow so that the Grandis could come out and wander about. But here's the deal. This is such prime real estate. I'd love to eventually have a stream meandering through here and flowing into the other pond. That would be cool. So there's so many nooks and crannies of Kamp Kenan that you guys don't even get to see because I haven't really developed it yet. Let's wander around the pond. Watch your step, Tom. There's a lot of holes here turtles made, and they're filled with water. Guys, just so you have an idea, the level of the pond is basically the level of the groundwater. That's how far I'd have to dig. Remember, Florida is a swamp. All of South Florida was built on landfill, and they raised ground up, and they also dug canals to drain it. So at the end of the day, guys, when nature wants Florida back, she's gonna take her back. We just have to learn how to adapt. Look at this, we've got a breach. Look at this. The pond is actually overflowing here. It's created a little bit of a stream, and now look at it, it's flowing into this wetland right here. So cool. I mean, we are getting drenched. I only saw it this wet one other time, and that was after Hurricane Francis. And this isn't even a hurricane. This is just straight up rain every afternoon. Hey, look at this! We got a wild green iguana! Look at this! How cool is that? Get out of here!
Where'd this guy come from?
I don't know. I love it. Hey, welcome. If you're having fun, buddy, just enjoy it. That's cool, man. We got a green iguana. They love water. They like being near water. Maybe just, you know, he's able to get over because my electric fence isn't on. Very cool. Leave him be. How awesome is that? I told you there are surprises here. That's incredible, man. A wild green iguana hanging out. You know you're doing something right if the lizards are coming to your house. Right on. Well, hi. Enjoy your walk, bud. I'll come back and deal with you. We're doing a tour. All right. That's crazy. So here's a cool thing. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it. It's the Kamp Kenan windmill. I like to go up there and hang out. I'm not going to go up there today on account. It's possible there might be a lightning strike. We don't want to die. Let's go. It's getting wet. Oh, this is nothing. This is good Florida rain.
How long has it been raining like this?
It's been raining like this for the last 2.5 weeks.
Are you serious?
Deadly. So it's been wet, man. Look at this place though. It looks so cool. I love it. All right, you guys gonna have to step over this gate. I don't need to open it. Just step right over. And you're gonna get wet. How about this, guys? This is the B group of sulcatas. Look how wet it is. It's still
under a tree because I need a little cover for the camera.
Okay, let's go. Woo! How's that?
That's better. Thank you.
Better? Can you get me?
I got you.
All right. So we are in the B group of sulcatas. Their enclosure. They're all hanging out in there, or they're underneath some of these weeds and stuff, palmettos. This is actually a higher bit of ground. We're gonna go and I'm gonna show you the main sulcata enclosure, and you're gonna be blown away. Come on.
Our lens is like
shot,
just dripping. Like I don't even know if you're in focus.
Well, we've circumnavigated the Kamp Kenan pond, and I'm bringing it over to the main sulcata enclosure, the large one. I just want to give you an idea as to why I always build smaller pens within a pen, and this took a couple of years for me to figure out. When I first moved here, I hadn't gone through a hurricane, I hadn't gone through a lot of rainstorms, so I didn't know exactly what this got to as far as the level of wetness. Here it is. Look at this. It is just inundated with water. If you look down, you can really see. Now, I dug this pond last year for the Asian turtles. It's looking great. It's nice and flowy, but as you can see, this is now part of the pond. It's come through the piling. So it gets wet. I think that's the key. I don't know if I've mentioned it. It's kind of wet today. So this is kind of a fun tour, actually. The back area here, you don't want to let a sulcata or leopard tortoise on this kind of soggy ground. If it was one day rain, no big deal. But guys, look at Tom. I mean, he's wearing nice waterproof boots. This would be bad for actually any tortoise if it was kept in water too long. The bottom of its shell would start to get a rot. It's kind of like an athlete's foot. It's a fungus that grows. So basically, I can't risk having my sulcatas trudging through all this water. Look at it. I mean, this is deep water over here, guys. So basically what I do is this. And, oh, which way do I want to go? Oh, every way I go, it's wet. Look at this. But again, the good news is the trees are really getting a shot of energy from all this rain. And they're really going to use it up to create the new branches that they need after going through the hurricane. But over here, we had to drive a tractor through while I got the, and my Jeep while I was clearing out debris from the hurricane. But look at this. This is no joke. This is serious mud. I mean, this stuff is soft. So I can't let the sulcatas out, but here they are.
What are you gonna do? I mean, you just have to wait like 2 months for it to dry out?
Well, you guys see me in my poncho. You saw at the top of the show, I was throwing debris. I'm working in the rain, man. I just don't stop. I can't afford to let a day go by where I'm not doing something. Yeah, maybe the tortoises aren't eating, but I'm still breaking down old enclosures, repairing new enclosures or current enclosures. It's just something that has to be done. So that's why I look so stylish right now. But here they are. This is the A group of sulcatas, and you'll notice we're on a slope. So the water really doesn't collect except over there. And most of the tortoises are in their house right now. But I even want to peek in and make sure everything's okay in here. But look at this, we got a puddle in there where they've dug down. I'm gonna have to bring a few wheelbarrows of dirt and secure that before the winter. But here is everybody. At least they're high and dry in here. But to be perfectly honest, I'm gonna want to even make this better. This is gonna have to come down soon.
I think we're taking too much of a risk with our camera.
Yeah, let's end it.
I think we have to end this. I'm sorry, guys, but
Hey.
we're gonna lose our camera.
We're gonna lose our camera. There'll be no more Kamp Kenan. See you guys later. Sing in the rain.